Holy goodness. All right, so welcome to KimBits Season 2, Episode 1. I am so happy to be here, and regardless of where you are watching from, make sure to drop comments, questions, whatever you have for me and for other audience members in the chat box down below. Now, if you're on my list, you've already heard that this past weekend, I did something that I have never done before. I streamed while playing video games. And this might not be a surprise to you if you're watching on Twitch, because hey, Twitch is a gaming platform, right? But if you know me from the entrepreneurial side, I mean, you can see right here, positive productivity. You may not realize that along with talking about entrepreneurship, productivity, time management, how to focus, get your goals determined, and make progress on your goals, I'm also a gamer. My husband is a video game designer. He's also on Twitch. If you're watching me on Twitch, make sure to go follow him. Chicken_smell is his username for right now. That will be changing shortly. It was a joke with our oldest daughter, but long story. Go listen to that story on his channel and you can hear about it. But anyway, I streamed while playing my favorite video game this past weekend, and I realized I really needed to get back to streaming for myself. So today, this feed is going out to Facebook, it's going to YouTube, it's going to Twitch. And I'm so happy to be here with you today. Again, if you're watching, and I hope you are, leave a comment down below because I want this to be a conversation. My intention is for KimBits to happen Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Hey, I'm only that far into my cup of coffee this morning. So when it takes a little bit of time for me to figure out what time it is Pacific time, bear with me, all right? So I really want this to be a conversation. I want you to find people that you can collaborate with in the comments. I want you to be reaching out to them. This is not all about me. This is about all of us. This is about working smarter, not harder. This is about positive productivity. So if this is your first time meeting me, hey there, I'm Kim Sutton, host of the Positive Productivity Podcast. Host of the Positive Productivity Podcast, where I have bloopers and brain farts all the time. I have awesome conversations with entrepreneurs where we share the good, the bad, and the ugly of our entrepreneurial experiences. And I'm also a mentor to multi-passionate entrepreneurs. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur myself. This is not, when I say multi-passionate, it has nothing to do with passion and sex. This is about having tons of ideas, working on a whole bunch of different things at one time. And sometimes as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, we can struggle with getting anything done. We get an idea today, we get another idea tomorrow, we stop working on that first idea that we had, and we move on. So I just saw that Cryptic Buster joined us, said, "What are you talking about?" Hey, Cryptic Buster, I'm talking about entrepreneurship. If you have any questions, if you are an entrepreneur, I would love for you to introduce yourself in the chat. This is not just about me. This is for everybody who is here. But please keep it friendly. If you start spamming, if you're rude, if you're flaming, I will kick you out. So this is about community and collaboration. This is not about being a jerk. And I realize that there might be kids watching. I am personally a mom of 5, so I have no tolerance for bullying of any manner. So anyway, today's topic, though, that we're going to start with is what happens when entrepreneurs hit puberty. And I know that might sound funny, but I was thinking about it because I have 5 kids. I have twin 6-year-olds. I have a 7-year-old, a 15-year-old, and an 18-year-old. And I see a little bit of similarity between how the younger kids act and how the older kids act. Sometimes they can be irrational. The similarities don't go that much further than that sometimes, but with the teenagers, especially the 15-year-old, who's in the midst of puberty. I see him getting swept up in what everybody else is doing. And if you are an entrepreneur, hey, I already warned you, I get brain farts and bloopers constantly, so just bear with me. If you're an entrepreneur, maybe you've hit that stage of your journey where you are getting emails all the time, where people are trying to sell you their stuff, where you see everybody going to events, specific events, or signing up for this coach or that coach, or using this software, and it can feel like peer pressure. I've had so many clients who have signed up for stuff just because they saw everybody else using it and they thought they needed to do it too. Now, I was an Infusionsoft certified partner for 5 years, so I want to say this with a little bit of love because I personally use Infusionsoft. I love it, but it's not for everybody. Just like French club and chess club and the debate team in high school are not for everybody, every piece of software, every coach is not for everybody. I know there's coaches out there who some of my friends and acquaintances have worked with and they absolutely loved, and I hopped onto a short conversation and couldn't stand them. Or there's software out there, there's social media schedulers, there's CRMs, email platforms, even social platforms. Not every social platform is for everybody. But anyway, going back, there's people using all these different programs that they love that I absolutely can't stand. If you're thinking about such a platform right now, that let's reverse engineer this. I want to know what platform you absolutely love that maybe some of your friends haven't necessarily, some of your entrepreneurial friends. I was going to say, what platform do you not like, but let's keep this positive today. So give a shout out down below to a coach, to a book that you love, to a piece of software that you love. Put it in the comments down below and let's just give them a shout out. Going back to entrepreneurs and puberty though, we have to be really mindful about what we're buying into, what hype we're buying into. Right now I've been seeing a lot about buying different types of stock, and I'm not going to name any names, or getting into the NFT scene, or buying Bitcoin, investing in Bitcoin. Again, this isn't for everybody. You need to know what's right for you in the time and place that you're in. If you hear what I'm saying, if it's resonating with you, let me know. Depending on what platform you're on, give the video a thumbs up if you're resonating, or leave me a comment down below. That would be so appreciative because I want to make sure that I'm resonating with you a lot. I had a guest on my podcast once. I had bought their book for $10, loved the book, had them on my podcast, and it ended up investing in this guest as a coach. I didn't do my homework first though. And actually, now that I think about it, it makes me think about one of my teenagers. Doesn't do the homework. Anyway, that's a side note. I didn't do my homework before I invested in the coach. And while I spent $5,000 on the coaching and $10 on the book, I should have flipped it. The book was worth $5,000 and the coaching was worth $10,000. Often when we're swept into shiny object syndrome, or the buzz of what everybody's talking about, we can see money fly out of our bank accounts, or the balances on our credit cards just go through the roof because we think, well, everybody else is doing it, so why shouldn't I? I never thought I would be saying that. And I don't think I've even said it to my kids. Well, if everybody else jumps off a bridge, are you going to too? So why aren't we using it on ourselves as entrepreneurs? Just because everybody else is jumping off a bridge doesn't mean that we need to. We need to do what is right for us. My daughters are 6 and 7. And at the end of this season, we will be stepping away from Girl Scouts. It's just not the right thing for us. Remind me to tell you the story about becoming a Girl Scout leader. I think the Girl Scout organization is awesome. It's just not for me, and I'll share that story another day. However, It's not for my girls, it's not for me, and there's other things that they want to do. But this morning, my daughter, the 7-year-old, asked, well, can I do Girl Scouts and cheerleading and dance and karate? Mind you, right now she is only doing Girl Scouts. Okay, one thing is enough. But I've told the girls that they can do 2 things. I would prefer that they do them together, but they also need to be their own person so they can do separate things too. But I see her trying to go so thin, and often shiny object syndrome and peer pressure in entrepreneurship is the same way. We get a video telling us that we should be live on Instagram every single day or multiple times a day. We get another video or email telling us how we need to be on YouTube, how we need to be building our audience, how we need to be on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the place to be. Why Pinterest is not a good place, so avoid it. I disagree, by the way. I don't cook very well. I cook rarely. I don't go to Pinterest for crafts, and I don't go to Pinterest to find clothes. But Pinterest works really well for me. But the point that I'm trying to make is people are telling us to be everywhere all the time. And when we start going everywhere and anywhere all the time, we're not staying focused on what we need to do, what our priorities are, and what the steps are that are going to take us to that next goal that we're going for. We're being like squirrels. We're going all over the yard of our entrepreneur life, and we're getting distracted. We're not staying focused. Peer pressure for teenagers is the same as shiny object syndrome for entrepreneurs. We need to stay in our lane. Yes, it's okay to look around sometimes, but if we don't stay focused on what our goals are, we're never going to get there. I know we've got some viewers, so I want to see how you're doing today. I would love to know what your questions are. I'd love to know what you're looking for in your business right now. Let's see how we can support each other. So make sure to leave a comment down below, and let's start doing a little bit of entrepreneur matchmaking. And with that said, I want to let you know that if you're on Clubhouse, the Work Smarter Not Harder Club was set up a couple weeks ago, and we host 3 rooms, we being me and a few moderators. We host 3 regular rooms a week right now. Every Wednesday, which today is, if you're watching this live when it goes out, every Wednesday is the Connect and Collaborate session. Everybody's given the opportunity to get on stage, introduce themselves, share who they are, what they do, and the types of collaborations or connections that they're looking for this week. So if you are on Clubhouse, make sure to look me up. My username is @the_Kim_Sutton. And then after you find me, you can future. So I want to touch on myself as Kim Sutton. And if you're